The Mighty Diamonds were a Jamaican roots reggae harmony trio. They were formed in 1969 in Kingston, in Jamaica, and they ceased to exist in 2022. Now, the Wikipedia entry on them, what it says about when they ceased to be, amused me slightly. So I'm going to read it out. So this is from Wikipedia. On March 29th, 2022, their lead singer, Donald Tabby Shaw, was shot dead in a drive-by shooting. I have to say, this is me now, it's not the drive-by shooting that amuses me. On back to Wikipedia. On April the 1st, 2022, so that's 3 days later, Fitzroy Bunny Simpson died. They disbanded shortly afterwards. Back to me. So it's not the fact that they died that amused me. It's the fact that they disbanded shortly afterwards, or that Wikipedia says they disbanded. When, according to my counting, and my maths is reasonably good, there was only one of them left, who was Lloyd Judge Ferguson. How you managed to disband when there's one of you, I'm not really sure. Anyway, they released 36 albums, as far as I could count, which are non-split studio albums. They got fair traction outside Jamaica, partly as a result of a signing to Virgin. Hi, my name's Dan. So this possibly was the first album by the Mighty Diamonds. It's certainly their first Virgin album. And it's my first encounter with them as far as I know. So I have heard reggae music, not necessarily knowing who it is who's played it, and I might have heard stuff by them before, because apparently they've been hugely important in the world of reggae. So I usually start off my review by giving some kind of indication of what I think the style of the music is. I'm going to controversially claim that this is reggae. I know I'm out on a limb here, so do shout me down if you think I'm wrong. So apparently I'm joking, apparently this is a classic reggae album. And it's certainly got what I think of as the classic reggae feel, which is, it's got the kind of musical stuff that makes up reggae, which is the kind of slow offbeat and various other stuff. But it's also got the classic feel, which is relaxed. But somehow it's also jagged, which I think is the tight echo, particularly making me think that. So it feels kind of laid back, but it's laid back with a kind of spike to it. Obviously, there are different songs, several of them, and they're slightly different speeds, but they're mostly pretty much the same speed and same feel. There's a couple of tracks towards the end of the album that are slightly different speeds. The variations here mostly are, of course, in the words, the chord structures, the key that they're in, but also with different backing instrumentation. And these feature things like a piano or brass or other things, which go along with the kind of core of it, which is drums, bass, and the kind of ticky guitar. When I say ticky, I mean the offbeat and chick, chick stuff. Okay, Africa, which is I think the last track on the album. Let me just double check that. Sorry, yes. Look at my notes. Has some nice guiro playing. So a guiro is a thing. I have one, but I don't have it with me. There's a thing that's kind of long and kind of like a big pill you hold, and then you have a stick that you run along it, and it's got ridges and grooves, and there's click kind of noise. It's got some really nice playing of that on Africa. I will say also, musically here, perfect tuning is not obsessively stuck to, both with the instruments and vocals. I tried to find a way of phrasing that that wasn't kind of a negative, because I don't find it hugely negative, although I do tend to react badly to tuning problems. I think that it kind of gives it the feel of kind of, yeah, we're just doing our thing. It's kind of authenticity kind of thing, in that they haven't bothered necessarily between tracks to tune up the guitar so it can be slightly off. And also with the vocals, occasionally the tuning can be a bit off. Vocals very much are the focus here. There's three of them. The vocals are very high in the mix. There's vocal harmonies. So it's, the fact that they're a vocal trio is definitely apparent here, and that they're making the most of that, the fact that they've got the three of them. Songs are about life, racial issues, Rastafarianism, kind of, lives of um, black people in Jamaica, or people in Jamaica. It does what you would expect reggae to do. Apparently, it's this subject matter that makes it roots reggae rather than other kinds of reggae. I'm not really aware of other kinds of reggae, so maybe the only things that I've actually encountered is roots reggae. Um, I know that this is Jamaican, and I know that reggae is by its origins Jamaican. I know that you get reggae that isn't Jamaican. I know that I've come across criticisms of Bob Marley, particularly. He was Jamaican, but then he brought reggae to a a non-Jamaican world. Let's put it that way. Um, and there have been criticisms that he is not as authentic as proper Jamaican reggae. So I know that this must be this proper Jamaican reggae thing. And so, because it has that implication of authenticity, I should really be into it. So I certainly respect its heritage and I don't dislike it. In fact, I quite like it. But I'm not inclined to artificially elevate my score to go, oh, yes, this is brilliant, because it has that authenticity of his roots, or from a sense of his heritage. And occasionally I will do that with an album. I will go, oh, yes, this is really important because of its heritage. On this occasion, and I know I can be, variable. On this occasion, my rating is on how much I enjoyed it by listening to it, not how important I think it is as a cultural artifact. So, and I try to do that most of the time. So I quite like a good bit of reggae, and this is a good bit of reggae that I quite like. So that's what I think of the album in a nutshell. As always, at this point, I'd love to invite you to tell me what you think of this album. So please do that by leaving me a comment in the comments box. I know I like waving my hands around on camera. It's a thing. The next review I'm going to be putting on the channel is of the album Soul Men by Sam and Dave. But that's it from me for now.
Shame and pride is killing you, girl. Shame and pride.